Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Hockey, TITTH number 156. I'm your host, Justin Bruni, but I have a couple of Nicks with me tonight. I got Nick Davis and my brother, Nick Olzak. Happy Monday, gentlemen. How are we doing?
What's up, guys? Good to be talking hockey.
Glad to be back on the show this week.
Yep, glad to have you. Glad to have you, OZ. How's your guys' weekends? I know I spent some of mine here on the show with Nick, but how was yours, OZ?
Not too bad. Just did a little bit of laying around. Celebrated Father's Day. Had some fun with Dad, which was fun. But outside of that,
I was about to say, you have any kids that I know about?
No.
Yeah, stay away from that. Don't be on that too young. How about you, Nick? How was the rest of your Sunday?
Well, as soon as I hopped off the show with you, I had to bounce to Walkersville and go to Allie's sister's house. She has a pool, so we just chilled around. They had some steaks and stuff, and there was a lot of babies everywhere, just new babies everywhere. So it was cool to be able to meet my niece. So I got vaccinated, so I was able to meet her for the first time. So it was good. It was a good time.
Right on, man. Yesterday was a pool day. If I've ever seen a day of weather so far this year that needed a pool, it was yesterday. So well done on that. I was itching for one. I was like, man, Nick's at a fucking pool right now. I'm walking around a state park. Like, this is terrible. All right. We didn't really do that much. We went hiking. We got about halfway through our route, and we were like, you know what? It's too effing hot outside. Let's go home. Let's do something else instead. It's too hot outside. So came home, did some grilling. I had some steaks as well. We threw some fillets on the grill. It was a good time. So glad to hear you guys are enjoying the weekend. Let's get into some of our props. Let's clock in, as we say. First up, we've got our Monkey Knife Fight prop. We've only got one game tonight, so we've only got one prop. We're looking at Andrei Vasilevsky over under 27.5 saves, and Ryan Pulock over under 3.5 shots on goal and blocks. We'll start with you, OZ.
Yeah, I think in terms of Ryan Pulock, just because of that block at the end of the game, I got to go with the over on that. He's playing big minutes on the first pair for the most part, and he's overall just been playing really good two-way hockey. And, yeah, I think you'll be looking at around 2 shots and 3 blocks.
All right, fair enough. How about you, Big Nick?
For Vasilevsky, I'm going to take the over on it. I'm always on the over for the goals, saves, because you got to create offense and you got to take chances. And a lot of times, it's playoffs, so it's like win or go home a lot of times, even though it's a 7-game series. So I'm going to take the over on that. So shots on goal and blocks, I'm going to take the over on that for Pulock.
Yeah, same across the board, it sounds like, for all of us. Vasilevsky has hit the over 3 out of 4 times in this series so far for that number, 27.5. And actually, Monkey Knife Fight has lowered that total since I posted it this morning. Earlier, it was 27.5. They have moved it down now to 26.5, so I absolutely love that value. Ryan Pulock is still at 3.5 shots on goal. In the past 2 games, he hasn't hit it. He's hit this 2 out of 4. He hit it in game 1, and he hit it in game 4. But in game 2 and 3, he did not hit this prop, and that's just from the lack of shots on net. But I am going to go with it tonight because he does have back-to-back games with at least 3 blocks, and that's just where they're getting a lot of their energy from, is on their back end, their defense. So I'm going to go Ryan Pulock over the total, and Vasilevsky as well. If you guys haven't checked out monkeyknifefight.com, please be sure to do so. You can use our promo code TOTIHIZZY, TOTIHEHIZZY, and they will double your deposit up to $50. So you can flip your 50 into an easy 100 and start taking advantage of some props. All right, let's jump into tonight's preview. Only one game tonight, but we'll also jump into tomorrow's preview of the Canadiens and the Golden Knights. Right now, we've got the Islanders as the plus option, plus 1.5 on the puck line, minus 185. The total in this game is 5 goals even, and the Islanders are paying plus 165 on the money line. Home team in the Lightning, they are minus 205 on the money line, and they're paying minus 150 for covering plus 150, for covering minus 1.5. We'll start with OZ. Where are you going tonight? You still going back to the Islanders on the road?
I'm going to go back to Tampa, I think. They're at home tonight. and I think they're gonna have a rebound compared to that last game where they had a sloppy second period for sure. A lot of goals that could have been prevented easily. So I think I'm going to go with the Lightning tonight, and I think I'm going to take the under tonight because I think a lot of these games have come down to the goalies, and you have goalie battles like we've seen these couple of these games 2-1 and really close games like that. And I think the under will pay well tonight.
Agreed. What do you think, Big Nick?
I think they're gonna. It's gonna be a 1-goal game. I'm gonna take the Islanders though. I like Trotz a lot. He gave me a cup in Washington, and that's all I ever asked of my life. And I just think that he can get them over that hump, and I think that he got Washington over that hump, and before it was New York and Pittsburgh that they had to go through. Now it's Tampa Bay that you have to go through to get to the Stanley Cup. And I think that this year he has the right stuff teaching him. So I think it's gonna be a 1-goal game. Islanders are gonna win and win.
What do you think about the total of 5 goals even?
5 goals even. The last game was 5 goals. So push. I think it's going to be 5. Yeah.
Going for another 3-2 game? Okay.
Yeah.
4-1, whatever it is. Okay. I'm going to go with the Islanders to cover. I do think this is another overtime type of game. We were literally inches or seconds away from another overtime in this last game. But thanks to Ryan Pullock, who are on the prop for tonight for blocks and shots, he was able to stop one at the very last second. That was awesome. Great play. But this series has been tight. We're tied up 2-2. We've seen the Islanders win on the road, so we know that it's doable for sure. But I still think the Lightning win tonight. But my money is on the Islanders to cover the spread. I agree with you, Big Nick. I do think it's going to be a 1-goal game. So I'm going to take the Islanders, who are playing great two-way hockey, like Nick alluded to with Pullock and their back-end defense. So I really like the Islanders tonight. I do like the under 5 goals. The under is cashed 3 out of 4 times in this series, and the Islanders have also covered 3 out of 4 games in this series. Let's move on to some of our props for this game, just game props, not player props. So in this game, we've got a race to 3 goals. Does any team hit it, and who does? We'll start with Big Nick, because you said you were going on that push, on that 3-2 push. We've got Tampa Bay. What is it? Tampa Bay Lightning minus 110 to 3 goals, or the Islanders plus 285 to 3 goals, or neither at plus 210. Where are you going?
Give me the Islanders plus two. What was it? 285, something like that. I'll take
285.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I think they're gonna reach 3 goals first, and it's just gonna be like the game-winning goal. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna take that.
What do you think, Ozy?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Lightning on this one. Kind of just coincides with my last pick that if any team's gonna get it, it's gonna be the Lightning.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to go with neither then. Get a little selection from each of us. I like a 2-1 game going towards the Islanders or the Lightning, and that's paying plus 210. I like those odds. Minus 110 for a team to hit 3 goals. I don't like those odds. If you told me this was game 1, you would have got burned on that. For the Tampa playing at home, they didn't score a goal until they pulled the goalie at the end of the game. So I'm going to go with neither team scores 3 goals in this game. First team to score in this game, we got Tampa Bay Lightning as a favorite at minus 160 and the Islanders at plus 130. From the sound of it, Big Nick, you're going with the Islanders, and OZ, you're going with the Lightning. Is that right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, sounds good. So the Lightning paying minus 160 to score first. The Islanders paying plus 130. I'm going with the Islanders on that one. So to complete the tie there, I'm going to go with Big Nick. I just like the odds, and I think that's going to be a big focus for them in this game specifically because they played great with a lead in their last game at home. If they can do it again, really knock in the front door early on, I think they have a very good chance of pulling away with a win. Next up is the time of the first score. So a goal scored in the first 10 minutes of the game by either team, or a goal scored after the first 10 minutes of the game. It's paying even money both ways. We'll start with Big Nick. What do you think?
I'm going to say after the first 10 minutes. These teams are kind of like seasoned enough where they kind of really don't get jitters, and they're going to play pretty much solid the entire time. So I think it's going to take a minute to get the first goal. So I'm going to say after the first 10 minutes.
Okay. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think they're just going to be feeling each other out the first 10 minutes. We've seen it a lot in the series, and I think after that's when the scoring's going to open up.
Yeah, I agree. So we got a sweep there of first goal comes 10 minutes into the first period, at least at 10:01 after. I like that. Tampa, they get, some decent starts to their games. They're getting a fair amount of shots on net, in the first 10 minutes or so. But then come the Islanders. They just rally back. The shots on goal has been pretty similar in this series. We're looking at 119 shots for Tampa and 115 for the Islanders. So it's about dead even here. For both teams tonight, I'll go with for both opportunities to win. What are the keys for each team's victory this evening? The Islanders and Tampa Bay. Big Nick, you're on the Islanders, so we'll start with you with the Islanders. What are their keys to winning this evening?
They got to out-grit Lightning. Barry Trotz never really has the pretty team, but they do just enough to win the game. And they just got to go that extra mile tonight. I mean, just really fighting on loose pucks, getting those extra possessions, not trying to block the goalie, just like stay fundamentally sound. For the Lightning, they got to just come out and just fire on all cylinders. I mean, they're from top to bottom on offense. I feel like they're really strong. But I feel like if they can be outgritted by the Islanders, then they're going to win. So I'm taking the Islanders just because I believe in the coach. You always talk about Joel Quenneville. For me, it's Barry Trotz.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Two of a kind. How about you, OZ?
Yeah, I think for Tampa to win tonight, their defense is just simply going to have to play big. We saw in the last game, the Islanders' fourth line did a really good job of cleaning up the rebounds, that line of Martin, Cizikas, and Clutterbuck. That's how they were scoring a lot of the goals, and they were getting those loose pucks. And those big guys like Hedman and Chernak, Sergachev, they just got to stay big in front of Vasilevsky tonight and not let those opportunities happen. And I mean, on the offensive end, I think the bottom six is going to have to do a good job of matching up with the Islanders' bottom six because, like I just talked about, the fourth line, they were the number one star in that game, believe it or not. And
I don't doubt it whatsoever. Are you referring to Tampa?
I'm the Islanders, and I think their bottom six and their fourth line has come to play. And I think if Tampa's going to win, I think that they're going to need to have a pretty decent performance by their bottom six to be able to keep up with them. Because their top six are matching up evenly, and that's where a lot of the production's coming is their bottom six. I also think Braden Point needs to score again, make it 8 games on his goal streak, and I think if that happens, Lightning will take home the win.
Okay, fair enough. I like that you brought up the fourth lines for both teams because I would like to see a lot more usage for both fourth lines. You had Tyler Johnson, who had a goal in that last game. He's looking good. Patrick Maroon, in my opinion, isn't playing enough. He's not logging enough minutes. And also, in that same breath, Steven Stamkos, he's only averaging 14 minutes a game here. His line mates, Sorelli and help me out.
Sorelli and Killorn.
Yeah, they're averaging 3 more minutes per game. I don't know where that's coming from, where they're getting this extra time, but Stamkos needs to have his presence heard. That's for sure. He needs to, make his play out there, be seen and heard from his teammates and crowd alike. And just more playing time for their fourth line. Johnson, he's been playing well, and the same thing goes for the Islanders. Cal Clutterbuck leads the team in shots on goal in the series, and he's played like the third or fourth least amount of minutes. In that same breath, the team has scored 8 goals. Cal Clutterbuck has a goal and 2 assists in the series. The guy needs more playing time. What I would like to see is them match up that fourth line with that top line against Tampa. Set the tone, go out there, shut them down, especially Point, because if you're looking at a guy that scored in 7 straight games, well, these games are really close. What is it? They've only scored 9 goals, Tampa Bay, 1 more goal than the Islanders in the whole series. So I think that they need to match those fourth lines up against the top lines and really just shut them down because they have the physical play to do so. So I'd like to see those guys get some more minutes because they're earning it. Tyler Johnson, I think, has a goal and assist in the series. And again, another guy that's just not logging a lot of minutes. So I'd like to see those guys get a little bit more time, a little bit more action. And the series has just been really close in general. We're tied 2 games apiece. There's a 1-goal margin. There's a 4-shot margin here. The power plays are pretty similar. The Islanders are 1 for 11, and Tampa's 2 for 9. So you like to see a little bit more efficiency there. And then, of course, the PK has been strong for both. 10 for 11 for Tampa and 7 for 9 for the Islanders. So you like to maybe see a little bit more of an advantage on the power play, but it's just been dead even thus far. Who do you guys have in the series? I think me and OZ are both going to Islanders. We took that pick last week. Big Nick, it sounds like you're on the same hype train.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, going with the Islanders in this series. So I think I said it last week. Other than that top line, the Islanders have them outmatched. Lines 2 through 4. I just think they do. As far as 2-way hockey versus just guys that can just score. and they're not even using their fourth line enough, in my opinion, out of Tampa Bay. So we'll see what we get tonight. One last prop: victory of margin of victory.
1 goal.
Big Nick, you're saying 1 goal by the Islanders, right?
Yeah.
And OZ, how many do the Lightning win by?
1 goal.
Okay, so you got plus 225 for the Lightning to win by 1 and plus 350s for the Islanders to win by 1. And I'm going that way too with the plus 350 for the Islanders. So should be a good game tonight. I'll be getting it going here pretty soon. About another 10 minutes or so, we're going to go live, and we'll have some live betting odds. So hopefully here we can get into some. Hopefully we get some decent playing time.
Talking about the fourth lines, it's incredible how in the playoffs they almost – like the teams that go the furthest into the Stanley Cup, their fourth lines almost play like first lines, where people are like, "Oh man, you should match them up with the first line." But in the regular season, that's kind of like hearsay, you know. And it's always great to see those kinds of players like pop off, because those guys are the grinders, you know. Like they're always out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pretty much gooning it up, you know. Like for my Caps, it was Joel Ward, Troy Brouwer, and Jay Beagle, and those guys just like, you know,
some Troy Brouwer, baby.
Guys. Like I love those guys, you know, and I always love seeing those third, fourth line guys making it happen. So just a quick note.
Yeah, Troy Brouwer won a cup with the Hawks before the Capitals. He's a big favorite in me and Nick's house, that's for sure. No, it's all about those guys that can just, you know, take away all the space and provide a lot of pressure on the offense, right? Yeah, he's been scoring, but it's only a goal a game. And like I said, the Tampa Bay Lightning have only scored 9 goals in the series. Like there isn't some like explosion of offense going on right now. It's been really gritty going both ways. So another good reason to favor the under tonight. Give me the under 5 goals total. All right, let's move on to the preview for tomorrow's game, Vegas and Montreal. But before we do, if you haven't already, please smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, we got Vegas hosting Montreal tomorrow. We got this series tied up 2-2. Tomorrow night, the Canadians come in as road dogs. No surprise there. Been dogs the entire way through the playoffs. Plus 205 on the money line. Minus 145 to cover the spread of plus 1.5. I really like those odds right now. And again, we have 5 goals even on the total. Big Nick, we'll start with you. Where are you going in tomorrow night's matchup?
I'm going to take the Canadians.
I like it.
I've been really impressed with how, you know, they took out Toronto in the first round and then just kept it going. And they're, you know, during the season, I remember like we were talking about like, man, they're pretty much out. Like, you know, we're not really expecting too much of them. If they do make it, they're going to be, you know, first round exit, and they've really taken it to their opponents. So I'm going to go them to win the game, even though they lost last game, but they're going to bounce back.
I like it. What do you think about the total of 5 goals?
5 goals. I'm going to say under. This kind of has been a tight series past couple of games, so I'm going to go under the 5.
All right, fair enough. OZ?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Canadians on the under too. Just looking at the Canadians the last few games, they're another team that's a perfect example of fourth line grittiness. You're seeing that line of Yoel Armia, Eric Stahl, Corey Perry on the fourth line. They're just working it. Corey Perry's playing like he's 26 again. It's nuts seeing the way these guys are moving. And then you even look at the third line. You saw Josh Anderson pop 2 goals in the overtime win against the Knights. Paul Byron had a goal last night. Kotkaniemi playing well on that line. The only thing that's going to break down the Canadians is that first line, I think. And we've talked a lot about it. The production's just not there. Like Philip Deneau, he's on that line. He's playing amazing defensive hockey, and he's winning almost every draw in the defensive zone. And he's like their go-to guy. But those guys just aren't playing offensively. And
he can't score, though. It's driving me crazy. On my key to victory for the Canadians, the first one says Philip Deneau needs to score. That's like the first thing. Philip Deneau needs to put one in the back of the net. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Like that first line has been a ghost town. I don't get it. I'm going with the under as well. The under has hit, at least if you're going at 5.5 goals, the under is hitting every game. So it really just depends on when you get your money into the under. So you're probably not going to find a 5.5 again, but when it's that low, most likely it's going to hit, you know, or you're coming into like a push situation, and then you got to, you know, kind of, see what your book is going to do about it. If you have that pick in a parlay, most likely your sports book will actually pay out a portion of that because of the push. But I still love the under. I'm looking at a 2-1, 3-1 type of game going either direction. My money's going to be on the Canadiens to cover. They've covered 3 out of 4 games, but I like them to win, man. They're playing great hockey, and realistically, they're just keeping Vegas at bay here. They have not allowed a power play goal in this series. They are 11 for 11 in this series. Vegas, if they plan on winning this series, they need to score on the power play because they need to get ready for the finals if they plan on winning the cup. Going another 0 for 4, 0 for 3, whatever it is in these next couple of games, it's not really going to keep them in rhythm. And then you just kind of look at like the goaltending situation with them. They gave Robin Lehner a shot. He did get a win. Do you guys think that they roll with him again after a victory?
Yeah, I think they're going to roll with him. I think you just, in this situation like this, you just stick with the hot hand. And until he goes cold, I think Lehner will be the guy.
I don't know. I mean, Fleury is just all time. He's class on class on class. I feel like he's just getting punished for that one blooper that sent him into overtime.
Yeah,
you got to step up in the big moments. It's all about the hot hand. I mean, you got to catch lightning in a bottle. I mean, I always talk about my Caps. I'm sorry, but the situation with Grubauer. He took the first 2 games in those playoffs, and then that gave a chance for Holtby to get his mind right, and he actually caught lightning in a bottle and took us to the cup. So, you just got to ride the hot hand. Whoever's hot, whoever's ready to step into that moment, they got to go.
Yeah. So for tomorrow, I'm not going to take the Canadiens to win. I'm going to pick them to cover. I think they do keep it close here, and I love the under as well. I'm just really stuck on these money line picks in the playoffs, and maybe it's just basketball that has me all hot and bothered because every time I pick a money line in basketball, at least in this past series, I haven't been hitting, and they've been burning down some of my parlays. But the hockey picks are keeping us alive. I've been killing it in these 2 series with the Islanders and Lightnings and Canadiens and Golden Knights. So I think I've only lost like 1 pick between these 2 series so far. Just been cashing unders and cashing covers. Hopefully going to be doing the same going into tomorrow. If we say Canadiens, Carey Price, over under 30 saves, what do you guys think?
Over.
I'm going to go over as well. Golden Knights are getting a lot of shots on net, 127 shots in this series to Montreal's 107. So I'll flip that back the other direction. Lehner, Fleury doesn't matter. I'll go down a little bit. Let's go down to 27 even, over under.
Under.
Yeah, I'll go under on that.
Yeah, I got to go the same way. Montreal, I mean, they're getting it done. They're just not getting a lot of shots on net. Vegas has only outscored them by 2 goals. So given that amount of 20 extra shots and only 2 more goals, you like what you're seeing out of Montreal. Keys to victory. What do you got other than Philip Denault needs to put one in the back of the net?
Carey Price got to stay locked in. That's how I feel. It's a battle of the goalies in this situation. I mean, both these teams have like a bunch of glue guys on their team, and they work well together. So it's all about the goalies, and whoever saves 1 more goal will win the game.
All right, 1 goal game. According to Nick, what do you think, Cozy?
Yeah, I think like Nick said, it's going to come down to the goaltending again. Carey Price needs to play calm and composed. You saw in the overtime goal that they scored the other night, he was kind of on his stomach, and stuff like that can happen. You just got to stay in his position and play the shot. And I think that if he's playing his game and he's tracking the puck well and the team's keeping the shots to the outside, then I think they'll have a good chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Montreal needs to score first. That's the biggest thing for me. And game 2, which to me was their best game, their best performance, they were able to score early and they were able to really run away with the win. So I think scoring first is a big deal for the Canadiens, and also just keeping a cool head. If you guys caught the last couple of games here, Vegas is getting away with murder on the ice. Guys getting high sticks to the face, getting their face just punched, literally just like no calls, like right in front of the refs. There's a lot of stuff that they're letting go. So you got to, keep a level head, right? Don't get into crazy situations where you're giving, too many power play opportunities to Vegas. Like I said, Montreal 11 for 11 on the penalty kill so far. So they have that upside. They're really locking things down, playing 1 man down, but you can't give Vegas any more chances than you already have. A couple of games ago when they did win, Vegas outshot them like 2-1. It was like 45-24 or 22, something like that. And the Canadiens were able to get away with the victory, but that won't last through another 3 games. I just don't believe that will. Vegas is still very talented at each level on offense and defense. You just got to keep them at bay, keep the shots of the outside, and give Carey Price as clean of a look as you can at anything coming his way. Because in the playoffs in general, all these screen goals, they're the ones that are like really turning the tide and transitioning the game for one team over another. So we'll see what we get tomorrow. Pulling for the Canadians. You guys think they'll take down the series or still go in Vegas?
Yeah, I think they can. I think they can take down the series. I think again tomorrow's going to be a really important game for them going back to Vegas because Game 5, I believe, in some series can be the most important game, especially for Canadians at this point because they take a win at Vegas and they get to go back to Montreal, have that home ice advantage, and have that advantage to be able to close out the series in 6.
Yeah, absolutely.
How
about you, Big Nick?
I'm saying Canadians take the series. Vegas is that team that just is very good. We're going to see them deep into the playoffs for years to come. It's just right now they don't have that person, I feel, that can really stick it to it. I don't know. I feel like that they're always going to go deep, but they can't get over that hump. And I think the Canadians do have I feel like a little bit more of a mature team. There's a couple guys that have been there for a minute, and it's kind of like their time. So I'm gonna say that the Canadians are gonna take the series.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, we're right there. We're right there with you. Let me pull up the odds here for the finals. For the Islanders and Golden Knights in the finals, you're looking at plus 275. Tampa Bay and the Golden Knights minus 105. With the Canadians, they're the dogs all the way. So Tampa Bay and the Canadians plus 375, and the Islanders and Canadians still plus 800. Plus 800. Give it to me. Let's go.
$5, man. That's a dollar holler right there.
Easy. Who wins it all, guys? Big Nick, you missed last week, so you didn't get one of these picks. Who wins it all?
Well, I'm expecting it to be the Canadians and the Islanders. Man, it's really tough. I'm gonna say the Islanders. I was very impressed with them last year because they went up against my Caps and they beat them pretty solidly. And I was just like, man, it's the coaching, I feel. And they had great guys, but these kids have been together for a while, and the previous coaches haven't been able to get much production out of them Trotz is right now. And I think that Trotz is gonna take down the Canadians in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I like it. I'm picking the Islanders as well. How about you, Oz?
Yeah, I think we got a clean sweep along the board. I think the Islanders will take this one because, as you touched on, Nick, the coaching for the Caps, or not the Caps, the Islanders has been phenomenal. And the one thing that Montreal doesn't have is Dominic Ducharme right now, as he's out with COVID. And I think Luke Richardson's a good coach, but I think he'll get out-coached, as you would say, by Barry Trotz. So give me the Islanders.
Fair enough. Clean sweep on the Islanders. All right, let's move on. We're going to go over some of our expansion options for the Seattle Kraken on defense. Next week, we'll be moving over to offense. Last week, we did goaltending. But before we do, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/take it to the Hizzy. Let's go. So we're just going to go through the pairings, who we think would be good fits. Each team in the NHL is allowed to keep 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goalie. So tonight we're going over available defense from some of the teams that are going to be not able to keep everybody, right? First up, line pairing, I've got Kevin Shattenkirk out of Anaheim and Matthias Ekholm from Nashville. With Shattenkirk, he's 32. I think they're going to prioritize the youth and try to clear up some cap space. And with Ekholm, he's only got 1 year left, and pretty similar situation. They're going to clear some cap space and prioritize some youth. Who do you guys have on your line 1? We'll start with OZ.
I was going to say probably Matthias Ekholm from the Preds. And if he doesn't get protected, Matt Dumba from the Wild.
Okay, I like Matt Dumba from the Wild. I've got him in one of my other line pairings. I think that's pretty solid. How about you, Big Nick?
It would be a great pick for their first line, PK Subban. He's just kind of like a personality that people kind of radiate towards. So I'm gonna take him. Keandre Miller. He's a young guy that kind of been very impressive. And then I'm gonna take Shattenkirk as the veteran to kind of keep everything together. Okay,
gotcha. What do you think about what do you guys think about PK? Because I got PK on another line. Do you think they actually keep him, the Devils? I mean, they've got a lot of young guys. They're going to keep Ty Smith. I think they keep Damon Severson. I think they keep Will Butcher. That's where I'm kind of at. Like, is it Will Butcher or PK Subban? Subban's only got 1 year left on his deal. I feel like that's a really easy way to just clear some cap. Just like, we'll not protect him. Should be an easy pick because I don't think any of their forwards are going to be that appetizing to steal either. I think when the Devils come up on the clock, for the Kraken, I think it's PK or Will Butcher. What do you guys think?
PK. I think the personality and kind of how he just kind of like is a marketable person. He'd be a great person to help start a new expansion team.
Sell some jerseys. Let's go.
Yeah. That's a business decision right there. And if I was a Kraken and PK Subban was available, I'd be taking him pretty quickly just because I've seen how it's kind of strange. Like he almost like gets more like time than like sometimes Ovechkin. I mean, even though I'm in the DC area. When I see like outside of DC, Ovechkin's really not talked about in terms of like personalities, more of like his skill. But PK Subban, I'm always seeing him everywhere. So,
absolutely.
I would take him just as a business decision.
All right, right on. Next up on my second line, I've got Marco Scandella and Matt Dumba as well. Ozzy already referenced him. Scandella, I think, is a lock. The Blues have.
OZ, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
you. Justin went out.
Oh, okay.
Well, who do you have on your second line? Because right now he's frozen. He probably doesn't even recognize that he's frozen.
Yeah, I was going to stick with him and go with Marco Scandella and Jake Gardner. I think both of those guys have served really good roles on both their teams. And I think coming over to a new franchise, a fresh start, I think those guys could be really good fits. What do you have on your second pair?
Oh, his power went out.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I'm not even sure if we're still filming right now.
Yeah, we're still on.
Yeah. Well, he has the setup, so that's why I'm like curious. Like, are we still filming? Because we might still be like live. I don't know. But anyway, we'll just keep going. Well, I got I don't know why I gave 3 last time, so I'm gonna put PK and K Andre, and then Shattenkirk and Ekholm. I think that having the young guy and the personality on the first line would kind of get everybody excited, but I feel like Shattenkirk and Ekholm would be solid defense for a second line and kind of keep everything together.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good fit for them, and they both play really good two-way hockey, so I think they'd be a good fit. And for my third D pair, I'm actually going to go with Radko Gudas from the Florida Panthers. Really solid defensive defenseman. He plays really well in his own end, plays big. Not the best point producer, but he plays really, really good defensive hockey as a defensive defenseman. And then my other pick we didn't have on our list, but is Calvin DeHaan from the Blackhawks. Because before the show, I was actually looking at the guys that they could possibly protect on the back end. And he was a guy that actually wasn't on there. They had Keith, Murphy, and Zadorov on this list, and I agree with that. And Calvin DeHaan, I think, would be a really good pick over for the Kraken. He plays really good two-way hockey, can be really useful on the power play and penalty kill, and I think he would be a really good fit for their team.
Yeah. Hey, we are we are still live. That's pretty cool. We are still live. Because I just checked on Twitter. My bad. But my last pairing would be Gudas, and I would take Jeremy Lazone. I will take anybody in the locker room, man. Like, I feel like that's a very solid organization, and having like someone that has experienced like a organizational great or great organization can really help lead a new organization. So that's my third pick.
Yeah, I think the Bruins organization, they've pushed out a lot of good defensemen we've seen. And I think, like, looking at the list here of guys that they could protect, I think it becomes real tricky for them because you also have McAvoy, Carlo, and Grzelcyk, who they're going to protect, and that leaves some big names like Jeremy Lauzon as options for them.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are – I think we were only doing 3 lines, right?
Yeah, 3 lines.
Yep. So right now it's probably going to keep filming because Justin's power went out. But let's see if there's any scores going on right now. The game hasn't even started, has it? Yeah, it hasn't even started. So, you got anything else to say, OZ?
No, I got nothing else. I think we touched on everything in the show that we plan to touch on.
All right, cool. So we'll see you all later. I got to get Justin to shut down the stream because we are done. But I appreciate everybody stopping in, and thank you all for tuning in for Take It to the Hizzy.
Yep. See you guys next week.
See you, man.